that enough?
Mrs. Roberts, we have to ask these questions.
Did he have a knife or a weapon of any sort? Sarah, do you remember if you fought him? Perhaps you might have scratched him.
I tried, but he was too strong. He hit me and said he'd kill me if I screamed. I tried, but...
Seth, it'll all be over soon, darling.
Mrs. Roberts, could we have the uniform that Sarah was wearing yesterday, please?
Why?
I will send it to forensic. It might tell us something.
I washed it.
I beg your pardon?
Well, last night. It was dirty. I didn't know then about Sarah, and so I washed it.
I won't ask you again.
Look, how can I tell you something I don't know? I swear to God, somebody else put that stuff there, not me.
All right. You'll be confined to solitary until we get to the bottom of this.
You can't do that.
See to it, Miss Bennett.
Yes, Mrs.
And
Davidson.
see there is someone on duty in the garden at all times. It would be a simple matter for drugs to be thrown over the fence.
I've been set up, Mr.
I will not have this happening again. I want security tightened immediately. Everything coming into the prison must be searched, and I mean thoroughly. I want all visitors searched, and all officers and staff. I can't rule out the fact that a member of my staff could have brought them in, Meg.
I suppose not.
If we can't find out how they came in, at least we can stop any more from coming in. By the way, did you find any knives or anything in the cells?
It's probably as Vera said, a joke.
Well, how do you think it went?
Where's the rest of it?
What do you mean?
That doll would have held 10 times as many pills as that.
Monica must have already distributed them.
Who did you ring?
What?
Who did Monica Ferguson ask you to ring?
I don't know. I mean, she just gave me the phone number. I tore it up. I can't remember what it was.
Your aunt's not going to let this rest, you know. She'll go flat out to find how that stuff got in here.
She'll only know if you tell her. But you wouldn't do that. You could lose your job. Oh, don't worry. I won't say anything either. I mean, I may need you.
You little bitch.
Mr. Roberts, you're sure the name Jack Harris doesn't ring a bell? I mean, you could have met him some years ago.
No, I never heard of him, Sergeant.
All right, well, that's all we need at this stage. Thank you.
You go up to bed, darling. I'll be up in a minute.
We'll bring some photographs around for Sarah to look at, Mrs. Roberts.
Photographs?
Known sex offenders.
You mean there are men out there that you know are rapists, and you do nothing whatsoever about it?
It's the court's job to put them away, Mrs. Roberts. We just try and catch them.
We want this man caught, Sergeant.
And so do we. But I'll be honest with you, we haven't got much to work on. Well, a vague description of the man, no idea of the make of car, and it won't be easy. And it's unlikely, if we do find him, that it'll stand up in court.
What do you mean?
Sarah didn't report the rape straight away, Mrs. Roberts. She waited over 15 hours. She had showered and her uniform was washed. Normally, in rape cases, the victim has to be examined by a police doctor as soon as possible.
Well, you called in our own doctor, didn't you?
Yes, as soon as Sarah told me. And he confirmed that she'd been molested.
Does Sarah have a boyfriend?
No. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, we have known cases, Mrs. Roberts, where a girl has a boyfriend and they have intercourse and the girl gets scared and says she's been raped.
Well, now, look. We brought up our daughter properly, Sergeant. That means she knows the facts of life. If she says she's been raped by this animal, then we believe her.
Yes, Mr. Roberts. Well, we'll get back to you.
Why the hell didn't she tell us last night?
She was ashamed. She didn't want us thinking badly of her.
Oh, why would we do that, for crying out loud?
Maybe we've expected too much of her. Maybe if we hadn't put her on such a high pedestal, she might have found it easier to confide in us. have the incoming parcels book, please? I don't care how innocent a parcel looks. I want it and its contents checked thoroughly. If you have any doubts at all, I expect to be advised. Have you put someone in the garden?
I've been there most of the afternoon. Bella's just taken over.
Monica Ferguson hasn't received a parcel since she's been in here.
Well, it could have come in by a visitor.
From now on, I want 2 officers on duty in reception. They are to check all personal belongings of visitors and staff, and at no time is a prisoner to have physical contact with any visitor. I shall also want spot checks on the cells at odd intervals. Is that clear?
I just can't figure it. I mean, Molly's never been into drugs. It's just not in her. She may have been an aspirin freak, but that's as far as it goes.
Well, maybe she wanted to make some money inside.
Yeah, there are enough druggies in here to make a killing. Oh, God, I don't know. Look, I've known Molly for years. She wouldn't.
Well, some people would do anything for money.
You know what really gets my goat? Is that we're not going to have a shred of privacy left us, and all because of some bitch. And I'm not saying I think it's Molly either. They're going to be watching us so carefully we won't be able to spit in private. And I'll lay you 100 to 1, they'll be searching our cells every chance they get.
Yeah, why the hell couldn't you brought in some booze? God, you could get hooked on those drugs, but Plonk never did nobody any harm.
Oh, shut up, Lizzie.
Frankie? Frankie? Where are you? Frankie, it's me!
Where have you bloody well been?
I went for that job. I told you.
4 bloody hours couldn't have taken you that long.
They gave me a test run, packing some fruit.
Did you get it?
Blew it, Frankie. Oh, I was doing real good. Then I got hungry. I only took a few bits, but I didn't know anyone was looking. Oh, I'm sorry, Frankie.
You'd have made a lousy packer anyhow.
But I got us somewhere to stay.
How come?
Oh, well, I met this guy I knew years ago. Funny, I met him just as I was coming out the factory. Small world, huh? Anyway, he doesn't care what I'd done or nothing. And he said we could bunk in with him for a while, you know, just till we get on our feet. For old time's sake.
Why didn't you think of this bloke when we first broke out? Thought you said you didn't know anyone.
Yeah, well, that was just because I didn't know where he lived. His name's Todd. Toddy.
Where is this bloke? His house?
Oh, no, he works on night shift. That's why we could move in. He won't be back till the morning.
You just met him today, didn't you?
Oh, no, Frankie. Honest. Yeah.
How come he's letting us move in, Doreen? You had it off with him, didn't you?
So what if I did? It got us a roof over our heads, didn't it? And you weren't coming up with anything better. I'm sick of running, Frankie. I just want to stop for a while, that's all. It's not going to kill me. Just for a few days, till we think of something else, okay?
Oh, did you have a bit of a sleep? What's wrong?
I was just remembering back a couple of years when you wanted to join the pony club, remember? And then you had that accident and you fell off and you hurt yourself.
I didn't want to go back.
No, but I said you had to. Otherwise you'd always be too scared to ever ride a horse again.
Dad didn't want